This country has come through a troubled past and many injustices committed, freedoms restricted and narratives stifled. And this was seen in the banning of numerous entertainment materials that were deemed controversial or unsuitable by the apartheid government. Now, one of the many things we can enjoy since our liberation is giving such material the chance to finally shine. And this is currently happening with the revival of Gibson Kente's political musical How Long? Well, Gibson, the wait is finally over.
When one thinks of South African theatre history, it's difficult for the name Gibson Kente not to spring to mind. And with May being Africa Month, it's only fitting that one of this legend's greatest works is running at the Durban Playhouse until the 27th of May after a 45-year stage absence.
This electric and vibrant production at Durban's Playhouse company features a high-profile ensemble cast performing Kente's words alongside spirited choreography from Somizi Mhlongo, all led by the creative vision of accomplished theatre director Duma and Ndlovu.
Ndlovu, why the decision to reignite this iconic piece by the late theatre legend Gibson Kente?
We do need to come back home and do justice to the people that deserve it. And Gibson Kente is the one person in the theatre fraternity who deserves as much attention as I think this is giving him. So there has always been that desire to bring back the work of this formidable force in South African theatre.
You spoke about the play being a classic, but for those who aren't familiar with the story of How Long, what is it about?
How Long is the first major political musical that Gibson Kente wrote. There was pressure from the Black consciousness movement to say that all cultural works need to talk about the situation in the country. He talked about the evils of the past laws and how Black people were affected by those laws. And he got imprisoned, and later on, How Long was banned. So we thought it is the most poignant piece that reflected the kind of a person he was and the music that he wrote.
I'm hoping that the sheer brilliance of Kente's artistic genius, people will be just bowled over, and rightfully so. I'm hoping that younger generations will get a glimpse of the history of what it was like in the 60s and early 70s in South Africa, and also learn lessons that are going to move us forward as a caring community.
How Long features a 6-piece band and 33-piece orchestra and boasts a stellar cast including Kaya Dladla and Pindile Gwala.
My character is amazing in so many levels. She's very colorful, she drinks a lot, she's very loud, she's very sexy, and she thinks she's better than anyone in the community because she stays in a kasi. Because the play is based on things that were happening in 1972. So it really trained me because these are real stories. I had to wear their shoes. I had to understand what they went through. It was very emotional.
For me, being in this play is almost like a dream come true because, I mean, for my age, we didn't get to work with Gibson. So we've heard of Gibson. We have read about Gibson, a lot of us studies Gibson. What we're doing now is reliving what Gibson worked on. And considering it was banned then, it's even more exciting now to play it because it's so freely played with no rules and regulations about it. My favorite part about getting the production on its feet was actually putting together the music. It's not a normal sound you've heard before. Gibson wrote his own kind of music. It's almost like a very raw, old school jazz with some old school funk. It's crazy. The dances as well. It's on another level.
The freedom and power of performing a formerly banned musical after a 45-year hiatus is something all South Africans are being encouraged to experience by watching this performance, which is still relevant today.
If you didn't come and watch the show, I think you'd be missing out on the history because it tells the history of the country and how it went down in places like your Soweto. And this is prior to the Soweto uprisings. So it's the story build-up of what happened prior to that time, how students behaved, how the police worked around. But it's so amazing on how that picture compared to what we have now. It's a beautiful contrast. So the young ones are going to be saying, oh my God, this is what our parents went through, this is what our grandfathers went through. And the older ones are like, yo, we come from far. So everyone is going to enjoy the show. It's a family show. It is super, super, super exciting.
The music of Gibson Kente is unparalleled. There's nobody in South African theatre who's ever done what Gibson Kente has done in terms of music before or synth, black, white, or yellow. So we are hoping that people are going to walk away with a page of South Africa's history, and we hope that they're going to appreciate it.
There's no doubt this dramatic musical has all the elements of a world-class production. If you're in and around Durban, be sure to check it out. Trust me, you won't be disappointed.
So if you want to see and learn more about how this exciting production has come together, then make sure not to miss Ayanda Tabete hanging out with the cast and crew backstage, as well as rubbing shoulders with actor Kaya Dladla and his mom for Mother's Day. And that's all happening tomorrow at 6 p.m. right here on SABC3.